Okay, let's cut a watermelon. Let's just make it easy and not messy. I usually get a smaller watermelon than this. But this is what they had at H-E-B for $2.98, so it looks really good. Picking out the watermelon, I mean, everybody knows this. You look for the most yellow because that means it's been sitting on the ground longer and getting sweeter and riper. And you also want to fill it and make sure it's heavy. That means it's juicier. I thump it, but you know, they all sound the same. They should have that hollow sound. Also, I look for local. I figure if it's local, then it didn't travel as far and it's going to have a fresher taste. And I want to support local Texas gardeners. Okay, I keep a bag handy for the rind because that's keeps the juice from getting everywhere. I have a wet rag handy. I use 2 knives, one bigger knife to cut it, and then I'll use a serrated knife because that works better when I'm cutting up the pieces. Also, I washed my watermelon first with soap and water because, you know, there are pesticides and you don't want that getting in your food. We always want to wash carefully our fruits and vegetables, especially if you're feeding young children. So I like to cut my watermelon up because it's not as messy. I mean, if you were outside, fine, cut it up in your wedges and, you know, walk around and drip it everywhere. But if you are in my kitchen, no thank you. I'm going to be putting this in a big bowl, and that way I have it when I want something sweet, healthy, and I don't have to make a mess. It's just right there in the refrigerator ready. And you do not want to put your watermelon in the refrigerator until you have cut it. You just leave it on the counter until you're ready to cut it because it retains its flavor better that way. And that's with a lot of other vegetables. I see people, Mom, putting things like tomatoes and cucumbers in the refrigerator. They will lose their flavor over time. Okay, so I've got my quarter pieces. So we have our wedges, and I'm doing all of this by the sink. So because I do not like messes in my sink, I have a plastic bag here ready for the rinds because kind of messy. But watermelons are worth it because they're so good. And a wet dish towel handy also. So I take a serrated knife and I'm going to get it close to the rind. I'm going to turn it around. Do the other side. Obviously, be careful. Then you've got it all in one piece. Then it's so easy. You just make some vertical cuts here. You think about how big you want your pieces, and then you just start angling it in here. I just want bite-sized pieces, so I'm going to go at an angle in here, go all the way through, get your bowl, and bam, there you go. And I didn't take my own advice and go all the way through, but there you go. That is so easy. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I see people making the biggest messes when they're with their watermelon. We had watermelon the other day at my mom's, and then afterwards, like, why is the floor so sticky? Yeah, it's messy. So now I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to have fresh watermelon just ready in the refrigerator. Hope you enjoy your watermelon.